I think it goes without saying that few environmental factors affect our economy, our wildlife, recreational opportunities, businesses, lives, and livelihoods more than weather and climate. As if we needed reminding, the month of April brought an extraordinary dose of severe weather throughout the West as well as around the country. In April alone, we saw record-breaking tornadoes, floods, droughts, and of course the wildfires that were mentioned so prominently this morning. And thank you, Governor Brewer, for your sharing some of the very real tragedies that are playing out in your state. Preliminary estimates place the total damage of property and economic impacts for all weather-related disasters just this spring at more than $20 billion. Minimizing loss of life, damage to property, economic, and health impacts requires planning and preparedness and information far enough in advance that the plans that have been put in place can actually be activated. Until recently, scientists were able to provide reliable information about likely weather events only hours to days ahead of time. But investments in science have paid off. Today, NOAA's weather models, relying heavily on information from our weather satellites and other sources of information, provide reliable weather forecasts as far out as 10 days. But 10 to 12 days or so is really the limit for our weather models, our weather forecasting models. And beyond that, the models simply can't provide reliable information. So 2 weeks is sort of the rough dividing line between what we call weather, less than 2 weeks, and anything greater than 2 weeks, which we call climate. Adequate preparation for floods or droughts or wildfires actually requires months of planning, hence the importance of information about long-term weather or climate, or what we call climate services. Again, investments in science have resulted in vastly improved ability to provide reasonable outlooks about the likelihood of droughts or floods and severe storms weeks and months in advance. And this information has proven to be extraordinarily important this year in providing communities and emergency managers with advance warning so that they can prepare. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the very dedicated employees of NOAA, especially our National Weather Service, in each one of your states who have been providing that information, countless hours and serious devotion. The Western Governors Association and NOAA are signing this agreement for improving the development and delivery of climate science and services to Western states in the midst of this record-breaking season for extreme drought, flood, fire, wildfire, and severe storms. This agreement takes a big step forward to meet the challenges before us by increasing collaboration and catalyzing efforts to help ensure that the Western states and U.S. Pacific Islands are better able to plan for these types of natural hazards. As a native of Colorado and an Oregonian for over 3 decades, I'm very familiar with the unique attributes and challenges in the West. I value the work of WGA, especially the opportunity for the governors to work across states on issues of common concern. And certainly water looms large in those, or lack thereof. NOAA and WGA have a strong history of successful collaboration on drought with the National Integrated Drought Information System and wildfires, as mentioned this morning. By entering this agreement today, NOAA will be able to better develop, coordinate, and disseminate the information that Western states need to support natural resource management and stewardship, as well as to better prepare and inform emergency managers, planners, and communities for short-term weather events and natural disasters, as well as longer-term weather and climate events, be they weeks to months to years in the future. Our MOU will help public agencies and local businesses throughout the West plan for events like droughts, floods, and fires, assist natural resource-dependent businesses such as farmers, fishermen, and outdoor recreation operators, and inform decisions about the construction of houses and public infrastructure like roads, dams, and bridges. This MOU provides the foundation to build a broader coalition with other federal agencies and private partners as well to ensure that the full resources and capabilities of the federal government are working together and in support of people. I look forward to a long and very robust working relationship with WGA on these issues, and I thank you for this opportunity.